Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fake Real News. My name is Raheen Aljaban. We have the thrill, honor, and pleasure of being able to sit here with this wonderful, outstanding young lady that's doing so much in the community. This is Miss Teresa Hardy. Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing outstanding, doing outstanding. Now, if I'm right, you are the president of the DeKalb NAACP. Now, tell us a little bit about what you all are doing, and tell us about the climate. I'm gonna tie a few things in. Tell me about the climate of what's going on with the push that's going on right now.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for hosting us today. I am honored to come and just share with you some of the things that we're doing with the NAACP.
Hmm.
The NAACP, as everyone knows, is the oldest, boldest civil rights organization in the nation. So for DeKalb County, and that's the branch that I am the president of, we actually are working on issues at the local level. And the way this really works is we stay close to what's going on locally and we move it up to the state and then to the national. And that's why, we have such a national presence because all the work is really done on the local level.
Hmm.
So some of the things that we're working on currently is basically everything around racism and everything around hatred. And as you are aware, a lot of that has stemmed up a little bit more visible now that we've had a series of unnecessary killings and murders. So with that, NAACP has been busy. We've been real busy, not just the fact that the police is brutalizing our people or murdering our people, but we also have the legislative part of policy that we're trying to change as well as trying to bring down Confederacy monuments and
Hmm.
signs and anything that has signs of hate. So we're really keeping really, really busy. It's been what I call a stirred up type of movement that is perceiving us at this moment. And we're just right in the middle and busy in all ends. I think you asked me about the climate.
Yes.
The climate of our people, I see that I'm finding that our white people are a little scared and feel like they need to do something. So we're having a little bit more support from them now more than ever. Our black people are really just emotionally uh, terrified to what is going on. They are probably more numb to what's going on because we've been here before. And I think the two of us, along with our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Asian communities, you're seeing a sense of everybody wanting to do something.
Hmm.
Now, the things that they're wanting to do, I'm not sure if it's all right. I think it's the fact that everybody's just jumping in and wanting to do something. Meaning, when everybody saw what happened to Ahmad, everybody came together. When everybody saw what happened to Brianna, everybody came together, and Rashard and everything that's going on. So you see a lot of togetherness. Everybody's protesting. Everybody's in the streets. All of that is good
Hmm.
because that's part of what we call awareness.
Hmm.
But when it gets down to when we are looking at how our General Assembly went through the legislative session the last 2 weeks, and we put up the hate crime. And when you put the hate crime up, immediately you thinking that everyone's going to be in agreement. Now, everybody's been kumbaya through all of this, but
Yes.
you go to the table where you can change the law, and then instead of getting an agreement to have the hate crime law, you put in let's protect our police.
Hmm.
Well, no, not in this instance.
Hmm.
This is not what this is about. This is a humane type law that needs to be on the books for all humans. And the way I looked at it, if you were going to put the police in, you was going to have to put teachers in, you was going to have to put doctors in. That's not what this is. This is not a role-based law. This is for human beings. And so when you look at that, it's like, wait a minute, you just marched with me. You said that you was about ending racism. You said things wasn't right. Why would you subject that type of um, a policy I mean, statement into a policy that is supposed to protect the people? And that right there makes me have a more of an open eye and ear, because you're saying that you with me, but when it comes down to policy and procedures, you're not with me. And I think that is our real problem here today. That is the real climate that we stand in. If we can't change the policies to protect all people and have the same type of access for all people, then we're not going to get along. This movement is not going to be where it needs to be. And I think that's what happened back in when we had the civil rights movement. We got to a point where things were looking good, but we're still in the same point because the laws that's on the books did not change. And then you made stronger efforts to protect the blue instead of protecting the people. You had more protection for businesses, like with COVID-19. You want to open up all the businesses, but people are dying. It's always people over profit. I mean, profit over people instead of people over profit. And I think that's why we're stirred up in this climate of, we don't know what to do. We just know that something needs to be done.
Exactly. And sister, I'm listening to you, and I can hear your passion, and I can hear your love for the people. And that's really what we need today. Now, let me ask you this. If there was if there were ingredients that would go into making what you're trying to do right now successful, what would be the necessary ingredients in making a successful venture in what you're trying to do right now?
Well, I think what I'm thinking is everybody really needs to take a snap back and really look at their hearts. Because if you're really about people, then we should be able to see that. This is about, how do we prove love over hate at all times? Now, you're asking Black people to forget about what happened to them back in the day and love you and go along with what you're doing. But when it's time for us as Black Americans to ask you to do the same for us, it's all of this, well, let me see, well, let me check, but you really not all the way in. You kind of stepping in when it feels right, like right now. We needed this 20 years ago. Confederacy has been around a long time ago, but you did not support us at the time when we were trying to get these things removed. You were saying, protect the Confederacy. This is our history. Well, our history hurts and it's painful, but you don't want to talk about the fact that you lynched our people as part of the Confederacy. You don't want to talk about the fact that you burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma, because we started having our own businesses. You don't want to talk about the fact that when it was time for us to be educated and we were educating ourselves, you start killing off our Black boys and Black girls. So when we think about our history, if we were to write our history against your history, we can do that too. So support that effort, or we're going to remove the Confederacy. I think that Hitler don't have it. They don't have it in Germany. We should not have it in the United States. We can say something about the history, but when we're talking about celebratory with the Confederacy, we should remove all of that. And nowhere should it be on public property. No public person wants to pay for hate. And that's what we're up against right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I know that there's a huge movement. There's a huge push going on with Black Lives Matter right now. Are you involved in that as well?
Yeah, so we support, as the NAACP as an organization, we support the Black Lives movement efforts. Now, people need to understand what Black Lives Matter movement is. Black Lives movement is about police brutality, holding police accountable, criminal justice, and police reform. That's what the Black Lives Matter agenda is. Now, when we talk about it as an organization, we're a civil rights organization. Of course, we are supporting the Black Lives Matter. So we work all together. Now, when you see people now talking about Black Lives Matter, I don't know what they thinking when they think about Black Lives Matter. I think they're using the undertone of Black Lives Matter. And you and I both know that Black Lives Matter. But if it matters so much, then we need to start taking pride in the word being Black, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and which is different from the organization that was created for Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
we talk about Black Lives Matter in a regular conversation, that means we love our community. We love our Black people. That means that we're not going to shoot each other. We're not going to beat up on each other. We're going to love each other. We're going to support our businesses. We're going to make sure that everyone gets educated. We're going to just love on our community and make it what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about Black Lives Matter, I always kind of think about that when people say Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black Lives Matter, and I believe Black Lives Matter. I also believe all lives matter. I believe all that stuff. But right now, there is this message for Black lives, and I think the message needs to stay, but it needs to be ingrained with Black people as well as white people. And I think if we as Black people can really start to put that in our heart about Black lives really matter, you will stop all the senseless crimes in your own neighborhood.
Exactly. I put a post up about a week ago, and I'm gonna give you a quick version of it. I had a little I do some ventriloquist. I have a little dummy, and the dummy was talking about Black Lives Matter, and what he said, well, if you're walking through the forest and you step on a nail and the nail goes into your foot, are you going to go to the doctor and treat your head? No. Or you gonna go to the doctor and treat your arm? No. You're gonna go to the doctor and you're gonna treat your foot because that's where the wound is. And so when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying that all lives don't matter. We're not saying that all lives don't matter, but what we are saying is that there's a need in the Black community, and so we want to address the need. The nail in the foot. You're not going to put a Band-Aid on your head. You're not going to put a Band-Aid on your arm. You're going to bandage your foot because that's where the need is, and that's how I broke it down about the Black Lives Matter. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you really, if Black Lives Matter, let's really look at that. Start in your community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And if our communities, even though we're saying that we're integrated, we really segregated still, right? Because if you go to certain parts of your different communities, the South, the North, the East, and West, there's a majority of a certain race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like in the community that I live in, it is a majority Black.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I take it personal. If we're talking about Black Lives Matter, I want to see where we're really talking about Black Lives Matter. I've even seen where most of us Black people are talking about other Black people.
Mm.
Let's stop that because we get enough of that from the white people. Let us stop talking about and degrading people who don't have as much as you. You know what I'm saying? Saying that they can do better. How you know they can do better? Remember, we're all here on a systematic, institutionalized, racist country.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, we were never really taken care of. They freed us, but they did not free us.
Mm-hmm.
They freed us with the Emancipation Proclamation, but you and I both know no one knew 2 years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you freed on the books, but then they let you go, but you don't have no money, no food, no. And that's what is going on. And people are not looking at the fact that this is where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this is where we come from, no one has been caught up. And because we're having this message of Black Lives Matter, we're saying that right now, everything needs to go toward the Black community. Every resource needs to be put into the Black community. We need it to see it, and we need it to be done. And until then, no justice, no peace.
Absolutely. Sister, love your fire. Love your fire. Now, you are the president of NAACP. You're the president of NAACP, which is a huge task. It's a huge task. It's a great responsibility. But what part of it do you love the most?
Well, I actually like fighting for people for real. I really like fighting for the rights of the people on both sides, right? Yeah. And then I love the fact that you're standing up for people, and people are noticing that NAACP actually exists. Mm-hmm. And understanding what its real mission is. A lot of people will say, oh, I thought it didn't exist anymore. I don't know why they thought that. So one of the key things when I became president was to make it visible to the community. And that's what we're doing, so that we can show relevance and show how your issue can be resolved through the NAACP. I really like that kind of stuff. I like the fact that we have all these programs and initiatives. My personal background, professional background is IT consultant. I've been a consultant for 20 plus years. So helping people is one of the things that's just in my heart to do. So, and I like doing that. And I like the fact that it's inspiring people that I don't even know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sister, I'm gonna tell you something. I asked you for just a few minutes, and I can sit here and talk to you all day long. I definitely appreciate it. If someone wanted to get in contact with the NAACP, how could they do that?
Yes, they can actually contact the NAACP. Our phone number is 404-241-8006. Our website is www.NAACP, DeKalb.org. Everything is there that we're doing. So you can go there. You can use the contact us to actually get us via email, or you can call, or you can fill out the forms on the website. Everything is there to see what we're doing, and come aboard. Join us. If you're not a member, of course, you need to join the NAACP. I said in a statement before, everybody needs to have a card that says they're a member of the NAACP. It only costs you $30. That is $2.50 a month. What a great investment to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I encourage everybody to do just that. Go out there, become a member, find out what's going on. You know, the time of talking is over. Talking is good. Talking is good, but at the same time, sometimes the talking has to stop and the action have to begin. Let's begin. Go to the NAA. What's the website one more time, if you don't mind?
Yes, www.NAACP.DeKalb.org.
Good deal, good deal. Sister, thank you very much. Would you like to say anything in your closing?
No, I just wanted to say that everyone know that whatever's going on right now, be encouraged, stay close to the Lord, and everything's going to be all right.
Absolutely. Amen. Look here. She preaching, y'all. Amen. She bringing the word. She bringing the word to y'all. And y'all better hear what she's saying. Listen, you've been listening to Fake Real News right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. You all have a great day. Love you. And take an opportunity, if you don't mind doing so, and love each other. It's real important. Try it. Have a great day.